Will is starting to become the least interesting character on this roster. Listen, I know I said I was going to review every episode of Bel Air, but I didn't know they were going to drop them in bulk like this. So I was on vacation doing research. So I'm just going to cover the key points of the last 5 episodes. Spoilers if you aren't up to date. Ashley knows that her fluid sexuality makes her parents uncomfortable, and she uses that to her advantage. You know what? More power to her. Particularly for Aunt Viv, who's supposed to be a tastemaker in the art community. Are you putting out new art and not staying up to date with culture? Especially the culture that your daughter is a part of. She did eat that one little time when Phil told her to change her clothes, because the outfit wasn't like this Fashion Nova, like BBL, tiny fit. She had on a cute little 2-piece on the way to the pool. And I agree, it's weird for older men to be like, your skirt's too short, blah, 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 sexualizing her in a way that she wasn't trying to be. But peep that Phil did not care. He's the parent, and he was like, yo, I'll shut this thing down. And that's something that Viv is not comfortable doing, and that's why Ashley is getting away with things with her mother. Because she lets the fact that she's ignorant to Ashley and her generation embarrass her. I think right now they're gearing up for a pregnancy announcement. Yana, I think their relationship drama has been fine. If you've ever seen Blackish, that was a separation done well. This one seemed to have no stakes, no nuance. They didn't even go ahead with that threesome that they were hinting at all episode. That being said, I know they're reconciled, but I really feel like Viv still wants to have sex with that taco man. She was so amped to hear that her friend had an open relationship and was proposing it to Phil like, is that something you really want to do? Like, let's try it. But I guess they're trying to tell us this is true love. Phil ruined his business for the sanctity of their marriage. So I don't want to see any cheating scandals. I think we need to move on from all of this and focus more on her career and how that affects their relationship. They perfectly encapsulated how awkward it is to watch grown men stroll at a resort. I'm an AKA, so I'm often in spaces where people just randomly stroll. And most of the time, it's not appropriate. Like, just because there's music doesn't mean y'all should be strolling. Let me tell you, they were working hard with the editing. There was like 20 cuts to make him seem so cool when he was strolling. But the reality is, if we're not at a tailgate or probate, you should not be strolling. We're grown. Leave that to the children in school. Do other things. Enrich the community. Also weddings. I'll add weddings in there. I just feel like alphas always want to hop around everywhere, and sometimes it's not appropriate. And I also don't like when they do it in public spaces, because like a lot of times there'll be white people and they're doing monkey noises, and it's just so inappropriate. I'm sorry, this is a long rant from a scorned AKA to all the alphas out there who want to stroll when we're in nice places. Stop it. Anyway, back to the show. Lisa and Will's relationship is so boring. Honestly, I think Lisa as a character is becoming sidelined, and I don't like her evolution. It feels like she's becoming an accessory. And that's something they kind of address, right? Like, Will doesn't know what she has going on, and that's very on par for the course for Will, because he is very self-involved. I wish there was a bigger focus on Ashley and her training for nationals and how that's affecting their relationship, because as of right now, I have not really seen her at practice. In fact, she came to surprise Will 2 times in a row. Girl, if you don't get in that pool and start working. Also haven't shown Lisa really interact with her father. So I felt like Will, when she was telling us about like how hard our life is. Maybe that was by design, to show that she's being sidelined by Will and she's not the focus of his life. And if that's the route they take, if they break up because of it, you know, I'll give the show their proper. But I just don't like the way that they're treating Lisa's character. It's getting very weird. Down to the way that they dress her. Of all the characters, she has the worst wardrobe. And you can't say it's because she's supposed to be of lower economic status, because so is Jazz, so is Jackie, and they be dipped in butter. I'm gonna make a whole separate video, but I need to talk to the stylist for her, because I don't like it, and I think it's because she was a little thick in the first 2 seasons. And by thick, I mean normal size. This woman is beautiful. She's not overweight in any term. She's just not a size 0, and I think that throws off some costume designers. Girl is trouble, okay? And you know what? I kind of like it. She messy. They're doing a really good job of showing how addiction is with a lot of people and the subtle signs of someone relapsing. I love the way that they showed that she's a liar. Her exploiting the death of her sister, who God knows if she's dead. She could be out in like Calabasas chilling. Was a perfect way to show how addicts manipulate their way to continue to lifestyle that they know is destructive. I knew from rip that her relationship with Carlton would be toxic, and I'm glad to see that Carlton is not really letting him affect him. Because let's face it, Will has been a terrible business partner and cousin to Carlton. He's just so concerned with being viewed as being down. Because let's face it, the thought of Black people saying, I don't want handouts is reductive. And it hinders us from taking advantage of resources that are available to us. But also, I believe it's a spit to the face of the parents and the people who have them in this privileged position. They worked hard so you can be in a place where you can rub elbows with important people, where you can take these things and create something special and build your own generational wealth. And that's why I was complaining before about them making them work at the country club, because we see everything that they've been doing to propel their business has been happening from their network and them not really being at work because they already members at that country club. Lila's been really messy with Jackie, and I feel like she's been sticking around because she knows he's not that invested in Lisa. I was glad she told him off about the way that he let Lisa talk to her. I also love that she acknowledged, like, yeah, I was coming after your man. Her coming to Will's pool party, though, was messy. She knew what would happen. I love that this Hillary is like the polar opposite of the Hillary that we saw in the original. The original Hillary had to be pushed into working, whereas this Hillary was very career driven the first 2 seasons and now is taking a step back so that she can support her partner. And I love that they made that a plot point. Because you can be hyper feminine, hyper rich, and a little spoiled and still want to build a career and a business for yourself. Also, I don't think that we're out of the woods yet. I think that her fiance still may die. I knows if he gonna make it to the wedding, but me, I don't think they gonna get married. We gonna see. I need some darkness in here. Let's do it. Actually don't have much to say about Jeffrey's arc except for I don't know. I love that he's a roadman and I love that they brought in old girl from Being Human, but nothing about his arc is resonating with me. Even when they brought in old Jeffrey, it was cool and it was a great callback, but I don't know. I just feel like there's better things Jeffrey can be doing. It's so interesting to see that, like, this hardcore Jeffrey that don't take no shit. And I don't know. I wanted him to be like an old spy or something. Like, I don't just making him an old drug dealer is like, man, okay, we get it. I did like that he acknowledged when they tried to get him out the house, like, get your little girlfriends out by 12. Like, I'm not done. I'm gonna do it because you're kids and you should have fun. Don't act like you're tricking me. I'm not stupid. So far, I've been enjoying this season. It feels like a comfort show, which is crazy. I thought it was going to be more of this like really dark drama, and it is tonally darker than the original Bel Air, but it's still at least light enough, I think, to be considered like a sitcom or a comedy. I give these last 5 episodes 3.5 out of 5 Frankie Flames.